Witch, or better referred to as The Vivitch. It's a supernatural horror film that came out in 2015, released by A24, and it was the directorial debut of Robert Eggers, who would later on to go direct The Lighthouse. So the one detail that actually stands out about this film is Eggers' commitment to authenticity. So this film is actually a period piece, or historical fiction, that takes place during the 1630s in New England. This was pre-Hamilton times, so just New England. The historical accuracy included the dialects that the characters speak, which surprisingly could have been kind of goofy if not delivered by really powerful acting, which we'll get to those actors in a moment, as well as the wardrobe, the agriculture, the carpentry, even the lighting. They actually shot this entire film by candlelight, which is mind-blowing. A good rule of thumb is that you use more light than you need because it's always easier to darken rather than to brighten in post, because when you try to brighten dark imagery, then you tend to get problems like noise or something like that. So thankfully they had a powerful camera and lens set. Which I guess a personal note to any filmmakers is, I guess T-stop 2.3 is pretty good for a pretty dim light like this. Alright, so the story actually follows a family that lives in a Puritan town. So the father, played by Ralph Ineson, decides that the town isn't faithful enough to their religion, so he decides to take his family and move out of the town. So they go and settle by a nearby clearing by some ominous woods, where it's the music and the editing actually establish the foreshadowing that this family is going to meet a terrible fate. And it's within the first 10 minutes that we actually have a lot happen. The family reestablishes themselves, they prove how devoted they are to their religious faith, and we also get to see a witch come and steal their baby away. This was something that was shown in the trailers, and it happens really early on in the film, so I can't really say that that's spoilers. And it's from there the remainder of the first act does go a little bit slow. It takes time to realize that the story is actually much more focused on the family than just some witch. And that's where the strength of the film lies, is that this is a story about a family and religious faith that's kind of taken to an extreme. You know, the devotion to this kind of lifestyle is supposed to bring love and closeness of family, but instead winds up tearing them apart slowly. And the fact there's just some outside factors of evil that are kind of, picking away at them, really is just sort of a sign of how dysfunctional their family really is. But it's with the start of Act 2 that things start really picking up. There's a lot of fun with disturbing imagery and a slow burn build of suspense that leads to a finale that's actually pretty incredible. There's sort of a horrific tragedy to the finale, which is part of what I love about this movie. See, in this day and age, people think horror is about serial killers, gore, blood, when really good horror always has a good story. In fact, that's what's so incredible about the horror genre, is that it can explore certain aspects of life that we typically don't want to explore merely because they're just uncomfortable. In this case, it's about the underlying sins of a family, a faith taken too far, and how that can lead to our downfall. Yeah, I definitely get some real Crucible vibes out of this movie. To me, there's no excuse why you can't have an incredible story in a horror movie. In fact, that is one effective way to tell a story. One of my favorite horror films is The Babadook. It explores mental illness through the horror genre, kind of like as a vessel. It's an example of horror done right and telling a profound story. And it also helps that we have some powerful acting behind this too. One of the main characters, Thomasin, the eldest daughter, is played by Anya-Taylor, who has such a unique look that she really delivers a lot to the story. And then the father, who's played by Ralph Ineson, delivers a very powerful, attention-grabbing voice. So overall, if you love horror and you want to see a good story in horror, I highly recommend this movie. Especially around Halloween, definitely pop it in. And so The Witch gets my score of 4.5 stars. And also the reason The Witch is spelled with 2 V's is because Eggers found that spelling in a Jacobian era pamphlet about witchcraft. So that's kind of a neat historical reference. So guys, as always, thanks so much for watching. Have you all seen The Witch? And if not, what else have you been watching lately? Comment below, let me know, and of course stay tuned right here if you all want to see more.